Tax season is right around the corner, but filing taxes will likely be more complicated for many Minnesotans. Reporter Sonia Goins talked with a certified public accountant from Brooklyn Park about the changes.
There's a big difference in the federal and the state.
Some say filing taxes is right up there with getting a root canal.
I think it's being a little bit of a pain.
David Hoffman has been crunching numbers for decades.
They're doing different things.
He says this year could be more challenging because Minnesota does not conform with federal guidelines.
Minnesota return is still going to be filed with the rules that apply to years ending after December 31st of 2016, whereas the federal government is using the rules that apply to years ending after December 31st of 17.
And that impacts just about everyone who files taxes. Here's where the big changes come into play. For the first time, you can either use the standard deduction or itemize on your state taxes.
Keep all the receipts,
regardless of how you file on your federal tax return. Before, the two had to line up the same.
There's a big difference in the federal and the state standard deduction. It's $24,000 for married filing jointly on the federal, $13,000 on the state of Minnesota.
And speaking about deductions, if you bike to work and get reimbursed by your employer, you might be surprised by this change.
On the federal return, they're going to tax the reimbursements on bicycle commuting. The state of Minnesota, you can deduct it still.
There's also a difference in what you can and cannot deduct.
Unreimbursed medical. You need your unreimbursed employee business expenses. That will be deductible on your state of Minnesota, where it's not deductible on the federal return.
New forms have also been added to the Minnesota tax return.
Minnesota has their own schedule for itemized deductions this year.
Meanwhile, the Minnesota Department of Revenue is updating its computer software to make things easier to navigate.
They may have to answer a few more questions on that electronic software, but overall it should be a similar experience to what they've had in previous years.
And if you choose to have someone else do your taxes, prepare to pay more.
The biggest problem is it's going to cost our clients more money to have the return because I think it's going to take longer to do it.
Now, the Minnesota Department of Revenue is encouraging people to keep their receipts. Some people think they can just toss them out because they're taking standard deductions on federal tax forms. But you still need those receipts to itemize on state tax documents. And whatever you do, don't do like me and wait until the last minute to file. So gather up all your documents now.